Then TSW comes along and kicks my ass and I can barely get out of bed. Hey guys, so my last video was uploaded 4 months ago in March, and I haven't been feeling very nice lately at all, and I think today is like the first day in a long time where I've actually felt okay. I'm not gonna say happy or ecstatic or the best, but I feel okay. I look back and I think, wow, you've come so far, rather than why am I still here? It's just an accumulation of things. So let's just do a really short recap about my TSW journey. So I stopped taking steroids in November of 2017, and that is coming up to 5 years now. 5 years in withdrawal. I never suffered the whole 5 years. I had periods of relatively good skin. I think after the initial 6 months, I believe that my skin was generally manageable, and it was honestly the best decision I ever made, stopping those steroids all those years ago. Then I fell pregnant in 2020. Is that right? Yeah. I fell pregnant in the summer of 2020, had a relatively easy pregnancy, apart from there were complications with Nerea's development in her growth. I was then I felt forced to take a steroid shot to develop her lungs in case she was born early. I refused, but it was forced upon me, and the irony of the situation is she was never born early, so I never really had to take those steroid shots, but I feel like I paid for it miserably. 2 weeks after she was born, I suffered from like a full body flare, head to toe, red sleeves, oozing, shedding, elephant skin, the whole lot, which was actually 10 times worse than my initial withdrawal. And the toll that it took on me was just immense. Not only that, obviously at the time I was a new mum, and then when Nerea was 5 months old, my mother-in-law, my partner's mum, also passed away. So there's been a lot of things happening. There's been a lot of stuff in this 1 year that we've been new parents, and it's just been a lot to deal with. And yeah, I just think so. I didn't even say the date today. I've completely forgotten the structure of my videos. Today is Sunday the 31st of July, and I am 1,729 days steroid free. Technically, unless you want to count the steroid shots that I took when I was pregnant, but I don't count them because that was one of those blips in my life. I am dressed to go to the gym. During like the first few months of motherhood, because I had a C-section, I couldn't really move the way I wanted to. My initial plan was, while I'm on maternity, I'm going to use this free time, not being at work, to like get my body into like the best shape it's ever been. Then TSW comes along and kicks my ass and I can barely get out of bed. Within a month and a half after Nerea was born, my whole body, head to toe, was covered in flaky, dry skin, bright red, really sore. Rolling over in the middle of the night was so painful. I don't think I had a decent night's sleep for months. And that's not even because of Nerea. She's a baby. She's gonna wake up. I was expecting that. But this was something else. If I went through postpartum without experiencing this full body TSW flare, I think it would have been the absolute most amazing experience of my life. But it wasn't. It's got nothing to do with Nerea. Nerea has been an absolute dream. She's like such a lovely baby to take care of. But I just feel like the first few months of having her were so dark that I wouldn't wish it on anyone. There was a point where she was probably like 2-3 months old. I was in my room, Nerea was in her crib and she was crying. I just couldn't move my body to pick Nerea up because every inch of my skin was just so painful. Like my arms, my back, even breastfeeding her, just bringing her body close to mine, where she'd rest her head would sting. I was so anxious about picking her up. I had my door closed and my mum walked in because Nerea's crying and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I can't do this anymore." I didn't even want to cry in front of my mum. I just feel like she's been through so much with me. It's not even including like now. I'm talking about when I was a child with eczema. Imagine how stressful that is for a mum to take me here and there to all these appointments, to watch me cry, to watch me itch, to watch me make myself bleed. And I just almost felt like I was admitting defeat. Like, not only does she have to care for me, now she's got to have to care for her granddaughter, because my eczema has really like taken over everything. I just felt so pathetic, like such a waste of space. After that day when I kind of told my mum like how bad this skin was making me feel, it almost became our routine for her like to like scratch my back in the mornings, because obviously I can't reach there. But she knows that like it really hit me at one point. August, September was when it was absolutely the worst. I was honestly traumatized about having to bathe. Anyone not going through TSW will not understand this, but I feared having to take a bath or a shower because it burnt so much. Even if I managed to have a pleasant bath, coming out of the bath would scare me because I thought I would have an itch attack. I didn't know whether to apply cream, not apply cream, leave myself to be dry, or maybe not because I might split the skin. Like, I just didn't know what to do, and it was just a battle every day. And it's only very recently that I feel like I'm starting to enjoy baths again. And there was a time, I think in September, where I didn't fully submerge myself in water, whether that be a shower or a bath, for 2 weeks. That sounds absolutely disgusting, but I would only do bird baths, which means face, pits, bits and your feet, for 2 weeks. Because the thought of getting into a bath scared the hell out of me, and I just felt like it wasn't worth the mental load to even do it. During my pregnancy, I put on 3 stone. For the first week after pregnancy, because I had a C-section, I was very swollen. My stomach did not go down for about a week and a half. I still looked 8 months pregnant. As the months went on, my weight started to drop, but my skin started to get worse. I was breastfeeding, so anything that I was taking was going into my breast milk. I was freaking out about my skin getting worse. It was just playing on my mind. I was very anxious all the time, just watching it spread. And then just not sleeping very well. It didn't matter how much I was eating, I wasn't holding on to weight. Then around October, my hair started falling out, which I expected. I read about like postpartum hair loss. It happens to some people, and it definitely happened to me. The whole front of my head, about 2 inches from my hairline, disappeared. I'm just going to insert a quick video clip of me doing my hair this morning, and as you can see, look at the regrowth. All of that hair that you're seeing in the front was gone months ago. I was literally bald. I initially thought I just lost it in the front. No, it's my entire head that has lost the hair. This is months of regrowth, and while I'm grateful that it's growing back, at the time it really made me sad, because if you've been on my channel since the beginning, you know that my whole channel started on my healthy hair journey, and that was like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and all of a sudden it started falling out in clumps. I thought I was genuinely going to go bald. In November, Nick's mum passed away. I was still going through a lot of crap with my skin, but I feel like I had to put them on the back burner to just try and be there for him. But it's like all my resources were depleted. You only have a certain amount of energy, and at the time a lot of my energy was going through worrying about my skin, worrying about Nerea. Like, how can I care for her? How can I care for myself? So when his mum passed away, if I feel like I had to like flip everything and put more attention on him while he was going through his loss, my loss as well. This is someone that I had spent time with for the last, what, 7, 8 years. I think I saw her just as much as I saw my own mum. Like, half the week I would see her, and that's a big part of my life that's gone. We had the funeral in December, and this was when I was at my lowest weight. I remember at the funeral, one of Nick's aunties looked at me and she was, "Oh my God, you lost all the baby weight, you look so good." And I just said, "Thank you." Because as women, that is what we desire. We want to be slim. I guess you want to go back to a pre-baby weight. But what I really wanted to tell her is that, no, I don't feel good. I don't look good. This was just stress and just depression and being anxious and not wanting to eat, but being hungry, but just not having the energy to eat. At the funeral, some lady grabbed my hand and said, "Oh my God, can I talk to you about your eczema? I've got something that will really help you." And honest to God, I just felt so embarrassed the last thing I want to think about is my skin. And I thought my makeup was lovely and I thought I hid it, but this woman just picked me out, literally grabbed me by the hand and dragged me off to one of the tables, and she sat me down and started talking about this skincare brand that she saw on Instagram and it cures eczema. And can't I just have a day where someone doesn't have to remind me about how bad my skin looks? And I even explained to her on the day that this isn't just eczema, this is a drug withdrawal, and I explained my whole story to her. Just went in through one ear and out the other. I'm telling you, this is more than just eczema. This is not just apply a cream and it will go away. That's not what this is. But yeah, that's basically how 2021 went. It was just like, wow. It was just like one hit after another. Started off with like complications with Nerea's growth, then getting induced, emergency C-section, then all of a sudden full body TSW, losing my hair, losing my mother-in-law, and then like December, which is meant to be the happiest time of the year, Christmas, we had a funeral. So come New Year, that's when I decided like we have to take like matters into our own hands. I went to the hairdressers just down the road from me and just told them like to cut it off, because the end, I looked like a witch. Like it was just long, but there was no hair left on my head, so I had to cut it to have like a good starting base. And just sitting there in that chair, having to look at myself in that mirror, I just looked so tired. I just looked grey. I just looked so fed up of everything, and my face just didn't look healthy. And like as I'm watching him cut, like I was really upset, but I was just like, you know what, this is a new start. Like it's just hair, it will grow back. So I guess in a summary, like the last year, let's just say the last year of being a new mum, as much as I love being a mum and I love Nerea, I think the whole postpartum period really messed me up. I've never been to the doctors about how I feel, because I don't think they'll understand about TSW and how that interlinks with emotions, because let's be honest, when I had eczema, they still didn't understand how eczema affects your mental, so let's not even go there. But there's a big part of me that feels that I suffered from a bit of postpartum depression or anxiety mixed with just regular depression because of TSW. Now, like I said, I've not been diagnosed and I don't like throwing the word out there. Can I even say that I've been depressed? And I think sitting down now and going through it, last year in general, I've had a lot of knocks. A lot of people are asking me, are you going to have another baby? And just understand, if you see me pregnant again, please know that it took a lot of mental preparation to get pregnant again. If I ever have to do this TSW experience again, but this time with a newborn and a toddler, it would really put me off having another child. I'm so terrified that this is going to happen again. This is why I don't know if it's the steroid shot that I took, but if this is just something that happens to me every time I get pregnant or like give birth and the postpartum hormones just do this to me, I'm not doing it again. There's no way for me to know that. So I either take the risk and have another baby, or I just have a one and done and I'm good. So, sorry, I digress. Back to the depression thing. But that's what this video is about anyway. Like, I've had some dark days the last year, and it's just not made me feel like myself. Not made me want to film any videos, because I'm not gonna lie, even just looking at my face on the viewfinder probably would have brought me to tears. Going through TSW, you are very grateful about the little things, and I'm just grateful to be able to move my arms. This week, I don't know, I just feel hopeful again. I don't know what it is. It might just be the tiniest thing that's just given me like a little bit of oomph to do things. And yesterday I baked some olive bread, and that might seem so stupid, but for me, like, just to be able to want to cook is something that I haven't wanted to do for a very long time. I think when I gave birth to Nerea, the way that I saw it was, as long as she's fed, nothing else matters. And I neglected myself. My only needs at the time were to be still, because everything hurt. That if I could sit on the couch all day and do nothing, that would be a good day for me. Yeah, it's one of those things where I am looking back right now and I'm grateful and I feel hopeful. Even right now, I'm actually clearing out my room of like old clothes, Nerea's clothes. She grows out of them so fast. There's a pile of clothes on the floor. Like, I've decided to like spring clean. Like, I'm actually taking control of my life again. Today I'm going to the gym, and I'm just I made a video. Like, I sat down and I turned on the camera and I'm looking at myself and I don't feel disgusted with myself. That is a big thing, and a lot of people won't understand this. They won't get it, but I know you guys will. This is why I'm telling you guys, and I just feel better. I just feel happier. So I will see you in the next one, and I hope you have a good day.